For the next 3 days, you are going to speak to yourself like a conqueror, not like a victim, not like someone who doubts. For 3 days, you will command your own mind with words of absolute certainty. Tell yourself, I am strong, I am focused, I am disciplined. Nothing can break me, nothing can stop me. Speak it with fire, speak it with force. Speak it until every nerve in your body obeys. Most people fail because they allow the voice of fear to speak louder than the voice of power. But for the next 3 days, you will silence weakness. You will crush doubt. You will only speak words that strengthen your resolve. Morning, noon, and night, talk to yourself like a warrior preparing for battle. Say, I decide my future. I create my reality. I do not quit. I do not settle. I do not bow down to excuses. Do this for 3 days with relentless intensity, and you will feel your spirit rise. You will feel energy, focus, and confidence take control. You will begin to move differently, act differently, and believe differently. Your words are commands. Your commands become habits. Your habits shape your destiny. So for 3 days, give yourself no escape, no weakness, no negative talk, only strength, only power, only certainty. Talk to yourself like a champion, and soon the world will have no choice but to recognize you as one. Self-talk is destiny-shaping power. Say that again inside your mind and let it echo. Self-talk is the invisible hand that pulls the strings of your future. What you whisper to yourself when nobody is watching is the blueprint of the life you are building. Most people think destiny is decided by luck, by chance, by circumstances. Wrong. Destiny is carved in the silence of your own mind, in the conversations you have with yourself every single day. If your words are weak, your life becomes weak. If your words are powerful, your life becomes unstoppable. Every time you open your mouth and speak to yourself, you are either feeding the fire of greatness or pouring water on it. Every phrase is either building a warrior or creating a victim. And the truth is brutal. You cannot escape your own words. They shape your belief. They program your subconscious. They determine the quality of your decisions. And those decisions build or destroy your future. Tell yourself you can't, and you will find proof everywhere that you are right. Tell yourself you are strong, and suddenly strength shows up in your actions. The human mind bends to repetition. It does not argue. It obeys. If you tell it, I am not good enough, it accepts it and creates a life that proves it. But if you tell it, I am powerful, I am capable, I am unstoppable, it also accepts it, and it creates conditions that reflect it. This is destiny-shaping power. Stop underestimating the words you breathe into your own soul. They are not harmless. They are not small. They are orders, commands, marching instructions for your future. Every day you are programming yourself either to rise or to collapse. That's why some people never break free from mediocrity. They are prisoners of their own weak language. They rehearse failure every morning before the day even starts. They speak defeat before they even step into battle. But you are different. You must be. That's why you're listening to this. From this moment on, your self-talk cannot be careless, casual, or weak. It must be deliberate. It must be fierce. It must be the language of someone who refuses to bow down to excuses. Speak like a leader, and leadership will rise in you. Speak like a conqueror, and obstacles will shrink before you. Speak like a champion, and you will fight like one. For 3 days, only 3 days. Speak only power. Morning, command yourself. Midday, remind yourself. Night, reinforce yourself. Every moment is an opportunity to speak destiny into your blood. Say to yourself, I am focused. I am disciplined. I am moving forward. Nothing can shake me. Nothing can break me. Speak it until it burns into your subconscious. Speak it until your body acts without hesitation. Speak it until the world cannot deny the force you have become. And do not whisper it with doubt. Do not mumble it like a suggestion. Speak it as a decree. Speak it as law. The mind listens to the tone of your voice. If you speak weak, it treats it as weak. If you speak with authority, it treats it as command. Stand tall when you speak. Breathe deeply when you speak. Put energy behind your words. You are not just saying affirmations, you are engraving your future. Think about this. Every great achievement in history was born in someone's mind before it was born in reality. It began as self-talk. The leader who said, I will change this world. The fighter who said, I will not fall. The creator who said, I will make something that lasts forever. They spoke destiny into existence before the world believed it. That's the difference between those who build empires and those who live in regret. The empire builders spoke their future into being. Now the choice is yours. You can continue feeding yourself the language of limitation, or you can rise into the language of power. Understand this truth: no one else's voice has more authority over your life than your own. Not your critics, not your friends, not even your family. The voice you listen to the most is the one inside your head, and that voice is shaping the boundaries of your destiny. So if you truly want change, if you want to step into a higher life, start with your words. Program yourself with fire. Tell yourself, I will not stop. I will not break. I will not settle. Make your self-talk so strong that nothing external can drown it out. When fear whispers, your voice must roar louder. When doubt attacks, your voice must crush it instantly. When weakness tempts you, your voice must command strength. For 3 days, test it. For 3 days, talk to yourself like a conqueror. You will feel the shift. You will see the difference. The energy in your body will change. The focus in your mind will sharpen. The world around you will begin to bend to your will. Because self-talk is not empty, it is destiny-shaping power. Remember this: words are seeds. Plant weakness, reap weakness. Plant strength, reap strength. Plant courage, reap courage. Plant victory, reap victory. The harvest is inevitable. The only question is, what seeds are you planting in your mind right now? Decide. Choose your language. Speak your destiny into existence for 3 days. Talk like a warrior, and the world will begin to recognize a warrior. Talk like a champion, and you will rise as a champion. Talk like someone destined for greatness, and greatness will begin to move toward you. Self-talk is destiny-shaping power. Guard it, use it, master it, and watch as your future bends to the command of your own voice. You are either programming your mind or you are letting the world program it. There is no middle ground. Every second your mind is being shaped, either by you with intention or by the noise around you without permission. And if you don't take control, the world will gladly take control for you. Look around. The world is full of distractions, fear pushed by headlines, doubt spread by people who quit on themselves, negativity disguised as entertainment. If you don't guard your mind, it will absorb this poison and call it normal. You'll start thinking thoughts that aren't even yours. You'll start believing limitations that someone else planted in you. That's what happens when you don't program your own mind. You become a puppet pulled by the strings of the outside world. But when you take command, when you deliberately program your own mind, everything changes. You choose what to focus on. You choose what words you accept. You choose what images you allow to live inside your imagination. And the mind, once programmed, does not argue. It obeys. Feed it weakness, it produces weakness. Feed it strength, it produces strength. Feed it excuses, it produces excuses. Feed it courage, it produces courage. The formula is simple, but the discipline is rare. You must understand this: every great achiever in history was a master of programming their own mind. They didn't wait for the world to tell them who they were. They decided. They didn't wait for approval. They declared. They didn't accept the limits society tried to hand them. They rewrote the script. And how did they do it? By controlling their thoughts, by feeding their minds a steady diet of power, vision, and belief. Ask yourself, who is programming your mind right now? Is it you or is it the world? If you wake up and the first thing you do is scroll through noise, then the world is programming you. If you listen to doubters more than you listen to your own voice, then the world is programming you. If you consume more negativity than positivity, then the world is programming you. But if you rise in the morning and declare with force, "This is my day, I control my path, I create my future," then you are programming yourself. And the difference in results is night and day. When you program your own mind, you are building armor. The world still speaks, but it cannot break you. The noise still screams, but it cannot enter. The distractions still tempt, but you walk past them because your programming is stronger than the influence outside. But if you leave your mind unguarded, you are like a computer with no firewall. Any virus can enter. Any lie can be installed, and soon you are running on corrupted code. That's why so many people live below their potential. Their software is infected. They let the world write their script, and now they live out a story that isn't theirs. Not you, not anymore. From this moment forward, you must program your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Every day, feed it words of strength. Every day, command it with visions of victory. Every day, repeat to yourself, I am disciplined. I am focused. I am relentless. I am becoming the person I decide to be. Do it morning, noon, and night. Do it when you feel strong and especially when you feel weak. Do it until your mind believes, and when your mind believes, your life will follow. Because here is the truth. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are programmed to expect. If your mind is programmed for defeat, you will sabotage every opportunity. If your mind is programmed for victory, you will rise no matter what stands in your way. This is why programming is non-negotiable. It is the difference between living as a slave to circumstances or living as a master of destiny. So decide. Take back control. Choose your thoughts with precision. Guard your mind like treasure. When the world tries to feed you fear, reject it. When the world tries to sell you doubt, return it. When the world tries to drown you in weakness, stand taller and declare, not in my mind, not in my life. I choose strength. I choose power. I choose victory. Do this for 3 days. 3 days of intentional programming. 3 days of feeding your mind nothing but power. And watch how different you feel. Watch how focused you become. Watch how quickly your confidence grows. Because when you program your mind with strength, you walk differently. You talk differently. You move through life like someone who knows where they are going. You are either programming your mind or letting the world program it. One choice leads to freedom, the other leads to slavery. One choice creates warriors, the other creates victims. One choice makes you unstoppable, the other makes you invisible. Which choice are you making? Take control now. Program your mind with purpose. Speak to yourself with power. Refuse to let the world write your script. Your destiny belongs to you, and your words are the pen. Write something worth living. 3 days of disciplined words can rewire your future. 3 days. That's all it takes to feel the shift, to see the change, to prove to yourself that the power was in your hands all along. Not 3 months, not 3 years. 3 days of ruthless, disciplined self-talk. 3 days of refusing weakness. 3 days of commanding your mind with authority. And in those 3 days, you will begin to reprogram the course of your destiny. Understand this, your mind is always listening. Every word you repeat becomes a seed. Every thought you affirm becomes a root. The harvest of your life is nothing more than the fruit of your repeated words. Speak weakness long enough, and weakness becomes your reality. Speak strength with consistency, and strength becomes your identity. That is why 3 days matter, because for 3 days, if you control your language, you control your mind. And if you control your mind, you control everything. Most people don't fail because of lack of talent, lack of skill, or lack of opportunity. They fail because of undisciplined language. They rehearse their failures instead of rehearsing their victories. They talk about their limits more than they talk about their potential. They tell themselves, I can't, and then they live in proof of those words. They say, I'm tired, and their body obeys. They say, I'll try, and they never commit. Their life is the mirror of their careless words. But you will not live like that. You will test the power of disciplined words. For 3 days, you will refuse to speak weakness. For 3 days, you will not allow your tongue to betray your future. For 3 days, every word will be chosen with intention, with force, with vision. From morning until night, you will only speak the language of strength. I am strong. I am focused. I am disciplined. I am relentless. I am built for victory. Say it when you wake. Say it before you work. Say it when you are tired. Say it when doubt whispers. For 3 days, give your mind no escape from power. The brain bends to repetition. It does not ask if the words are true. It asks if the words are consistent. And when you feed it the same strong commands day after day, it begins to rewire itself to believe. The doubts weaken. The excuses shrink. The fear loses its grip. And suddenly, you act in alignment with your new program. You walk with more certainty. You work with more focus. You carry yourself like someone who knows they are destined for more. That is the rewiring process. That is why 3 days of disciplined words can set a new direction for your life. Think about this. If undisciplined words can keep people trapped in cycles of weakness for years, then disciplined words can set people free in days. The difference is intention. The difference is commitment. The difference is the refusal to let a single word slip out that does not serve your future. Every careless word is a chain. Every disciplined word is a key. Speak chains and you stay locked. Speak keys and you break free. For 3 days, treat your language like a soldier treats his weapon. Never careless, always deliberate, always sharp, always ready. Guard your words. Aim them with precision. Fire them with confidence. Because each one is either shaping weakness or building strength. Each one is either enslaving you or setting you free. And do not whisper your words with hesitation. Speak them with authority. Speak them with power. Speak them as law. Your mind listens not just to the words, but to the tone. If you say, I am strong like a question, your mind ignores it. If you say, I am strong like a command, your mind accepts it as fact. Speak with certainty, and certainty will grow inside you. Do this for 3 days, and you will feel the shift. The heaviness you carried will begin to lift. The fog that clouded your focus will begin to clear. The doubt that held you down will begin to break. You will feel energy rising where there was fatigue. You will feel determination growing where there was hesitation. You will feel fire burning where there was fear. 3 days of disciplined words, and your inner world begins to transform. And when your inner world transforms, your outer world cannot stay the same. Your life bends to the program you install, and the installation takes place through your words. That's why for 3 days, you cannot afford to slip. No negative talk, no excuses, no weakness. Every time a negative thought tries to escape your mouth, replace it instantly with power. Every time doubt knocks, answer with strength. Every time fear whispers, roar louder. 3 days, that's the challenge. 3 days of no compromise. 3 days of language so strong it shakes your own soul. 3 days of speaking to yourself like a warrior, a conqueror, a champion. And after those 3 days, look at yourself in the mirror. Look at how you carry yourself. Look at how much sharper your focus is. Look at how your energy has shifted. That's when you'll realize the truth. If 3 days can do this, imagine what 30 can do. Imagine what 300 can do. Imagine a lifetime lived on disciplined words. 3 days of disciplined words can rewire your future. The choice is yours. Will you stay a prisoner of careless speech, or will you rise as the master of your destiny? Speak wisely, speak powerfully, speak deliberately, because your future is listening and it is waiting for its command. Affirm strength, not weakness. That single decision can alter the entire direction of your life. Every time you open your mouth, you are either building yourself or breaking yourself. You are either calling power into your future or dragging weakness into your present. And the tragedy is that most people have trained themselves to affirm weakness. They talk about what they can't do. They talk about how hard it is. They talk about their struggles more than their victories. They affirm their excuses. They affirm their fears. They affirm their limitations, and then they wonder why their life reflects exactly what they keep saying. But you are not here to affirm weakness. You are here to affirm strength. When you wake in the morning, you must declare, I am strong, I am focused, I am disciplined, I am unstoppable. Say it with certainty, say it with fire, say it until your blood believes it, because the mind does not resist repetition, it obeys it. Repeat weakness, and your life collapses under the weight of your words. Repeat strength, and your life rises with the force of your declarations. The human mind is a mirror. It reflects whatever you show it most consistently. If you feed it complaints, it magnifies them. If you feed it power, it magnifies that too. That is why affirming strength is not just motivational talk, it is survival. Weakness affirmed is weakness lived. Strength affirmed is strength embodied. You must understand this truth. Every time you affirm strength, you are planting a seed that will bear fruit in your actions, your confidence, and your destiny. Think about the language of the weak. It is filled with doubt. I can't, I'm tired, I'm not good enough, things never work for me. Say those words long enough and you believe them. Believe them long enough and you live them. That is why mediocrity spreads so easily. It is rehearsed in the language of everyday people. But the language of greatness is different. The strong affirm, I will, I can, I must. Nothing will break me, nothing will stop me, I was built for this. And when those words are spoken with consistency, the body follows, the mind adapts, and reality bends. Affirm strength, not weakness. When fear shows up, don't give it air, don't give it life. Say instead, I am fearless, I am bold, I act in spite of fear. When exhaustion weighs on you, don't complain, don't reinforce the tiredness. Say instead, I am filled with energy, I am full of drive. My spirit is stronger than my body. When challenges rise up, don't say, this is too much for me. Say instead, I was made for challenges. I was designed for pressure. I get stronger with every obstacle. For 3 days, practice this discipline. Replace every weak word with a strong one. Replace every excuse with a declaration. Replace every complaint with a command. And watch how fast your energy shifts. Watch how fast your mindset sharpens. Watch how quickly your actions align with your words. Because the truth is simple. You will never rise above the level of your own affirmations. If you affirm weakness, you will live weak. If you affirm strength, you will rise strong. This is not about lying to yourself. It is about choosing which version of yourself you want to feed. Both weakness and strength exist inside you. Which one grows depends on which one you affirm. Feed the voice of doubt, and it becomes louder. Feed the voice of power, and it takes control. Every word is fuel, fuel for fear or fuel for courage. Every word is a vote for weakness or a vote for strength. And hear this clearly. The world is already trying to weaken you. It bombards you with doubt, distraction, negativity, and excuses. If you join in by affirming weakness, you lose before you even fight. That's why you must be ruthless with your words. You must be intentional, disciplined, unshakable. Affirm strength even when you don't feel strong. Affirm victory even when you are under attack. Affirm discipline even when temptation surrounds you. Because your words are not just a reflection of who you are, they are a declaration of who you are becoming. Every conqueror, every leader, every champion has spoken strength into themselves long before the world believed it. They said, I can, when everyone else said, you can't. They said, I will, when everyone else said, it's impossible. They affirmed strength when weakness would have been easier. And that is why they won. Not because they were born different, but because they spoke different. So from this day forward, cut weakness out of your vocabulary. Don't give it a single word, not a single sentence, not a single breath. Speak only power. Speak only certainty. Speak only strength. And speak it relentlessly. Morning, noon, and night, remind yourself, I am strong, I am capable, I am unbreakable. I was born to rise. Say it until you believe it. Believe it until you live it. Live it until the world recognizes it. Affirm strength, not weakness. Because your words are not just sounds, they are destiny in motion. Choose carefully. Speak deliberately. Declare power until your reality has no choice but to reflect it. Speak possibility, not limitation. That is the difference between people who rise and people who stay stuck. Open your mouth and speak about limits, and you chain yourself. Open your mouth and speak about possibilities, and you set yourself free. The words you choose are not just sounds, they are blueprints. They are the architecture of your future. If you constantly declare what you cannot do, your life bends itself to prove you right. If you declare what you can do even before you know how, your life bends itself to create a way. Most people destroy their own potential before they ever begin, not because they lack strength, not because they lack intelligence, but because they affirm limitation more than they affirm possibility. They say things like, I can't afford that, I'm not ready, I don't have what it takes, that's not realistic. Those words don't just describe their world, they create their world. They speak chains into existence, and then they live inside them. They become prisoners of their own tongue. But the ones who rise, the ones who create, who achieve, who conquer, speak a different language. They speak possibility. When faced with the same obstacles, they say, there's a way. I will find it. I will make it happen. I will not stop until it's done. They don't deny the difficulty, they deny the limitation. They choose words that open doors instead of locking them. And those words change their focus, sharpen their vision, fuel their actions. They begin to see options where others only see walls. You must understand this. Your mind listens to every word you speak. It takes your words as commands, as law. If you keep speaking limitation, your mind filters reality to match. It hides opportunities from you because you already declared they don't exist. But if you speak possibility, your mind goes to work finding evidence, connecting dots, creating paths. The mind is a servant. It obeys your language. That's why speaking possibility is not just motivational, it is strategy. When you wake up, what do you declare? Do you say, this will be another hard day, or do you say, this is my day, full of opportunity? Do you say, I can't handle this pressure? Or do you say, pressure is shaping me, building me, making me stronger? Do you say, that's impossible? Or do you say, nothing is impossible for the one who refuses to quit? Those small choices of words are not small at all. They are decisive. They are the difference between a life of stagnation and a life of growth. For 3 days, test this discipline. Remove limitation from your mouth. Refuse to say, I can't. Refuse to say, it's too late. Refuse to say, I don't know how. Replace every limitation with possibility. Say instead, I will learn, I will grow, I will find the way, I will rise. Say it until your body believes it. Say it until your actions reflect it. Say it until your results confirm it. 3 days of speaking possibility will shift your energy, your focus, your confidence. You will feel your mind searching for solutions instead of excuses. You will notice opportunities that were invisible to you before because your words shape your vision and your vision shapes your reality. Never forget the greatest breakthroughs in history came from those who spoke possibility when the world screamed limitation. They said, we will fly when everyone said, it can't be done. They said, we will cure when everyone said, it's impossible. They said, we will build when everyone said, it's too much. Every great achievement was born from someone who refused to affirm limitation and chose to affirm possibility instead. The world followed their words, and their words reshaped the world. So what about you? Will you continue to give life to limits, or will you breathe life into possibilities? Every time you open your mouth, you are writing a contract with your future. Speak limitation and you sign away your potential. Speak possibility and you unlock doors you didn't even know existed. This is not fantasy, this is law. The law of the mind is simple. It delivers what you command through your words. From this moment on, discipline your tongue. Be ruthless about what you say. If a limitation tries to rise, kill it with possibility. If weakness tries to speak, silence it with strength. If doubt tries to escape, replace it instantly with belief. Speak only what you want to live. Speak only what you are willing to fight for. Speak only what aligns with the future you are building. Speak possibility, not limitation. Because possibility opens the path, fuels the fight, and creates the victory. Limitation kills before you even begin. Never forget, the choice is always in your mouth. Your mind believes what you repeat. It doesn't care if it's true or false, possible or impossible, powerful or weak. It simply absorbs what you feed it, accepts it as reality, and begins to build your life around it. That is why repetition is the most dangerous weapon or the most powerful tool in your hands. If you repeat weakness, your mind will believe you are weak. If you repeat excuses, your mind will believe you are limited. But if you repeat strength, your mind will believe you are unstoppable. If you repeat victory, your mind will believe you cannot be defeated. Your life becomes the echo of your own words. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they repeat the wrong things. They tell themselves over and over, I can't do this, I'm not good enough, I'll never make it. And their mind listens. Their mind obeys. Their mind says, if this is the command you give me, then I will create a life that proves you right. And so every action, every decision, every result bends to match the script they repeated. They become prisoners of their own language. But you must understand this law. Repetition reprograms belief. If you repeat something long enough, even against evidence, the mind will accept it. That is how fear is built, but it is also how courage is built. That is how doubt spreads, but it is also how certainty grows. That is how failure repeats itself, but it is also how victory becomes a habit. The mind cannot resist consistent repetition. It doesn't argue, it doesn't analyze, it simply absorbs and obeys. So ask yourself, what are you repeating? What words echo in your head every day? Because those repetitions are programming your destiny. If you say, I'm always tired, don't be surprised when your body feels exhausted. If you say, I never succeed, don't be surprised when opportunities slip through your hands. If you say, I'm unlucky, don't be surprised when life keeps proving you right. Your mind is not betraying you. It is serving you according to the program you installed through repetition. Now imagine the opposite. Imagine repeating, I am strong, I am focused, I am disciplined, I am unstoppable. Imagine repeating, I find solutions, I overcome obstacles, I do not quit, I do not break. Imagine feeding those words into your mind every single day. What happens? Your body begins to act differently. Your decisions shift. Your confidence grows. Your eyes open to possibilities you used to ignore because your mind has accepted the new commands, and now it must create a reality that matches them. This is why repetition is the foundation of transformation. One powerful thought spoken once will inspire you for a moment, but a powerful thought spoken over and over will rewire you for life. 3 days of repetition can change your energy. 30 days of repetition can change your habits. 300 days of repetition can change your destiny. That is how the mind works. It bends to the words you carve into it daily. Do not underestimate this. Some people spend years locked in mediocrity simply because they repeated the wrong story about themselves. They convinced themselves they weren't good enough, and their life proved them right. But others who faced the same difficulties repeated strength, repeated power, repeated victory until they believed it. And when they believed it, nothing could stop them. The difference was not talent. The difference was repetition. So for the next 3 days, repeat strength, repeat discipline, repeat victory. Do not allow a single weak word to escape your lips. Speak only what you want to live. Say it when you wake up. Say it when you feel tired. Say it when doubt creeps in. Say it when nobody is listening. The repetition is not for the world, it is for your mind. And when your mind accepts it, the world will have no choice but to reflect it. Your words are commands. Commands repeated become beliefs. Beliefs lived become destiny. That is the chain. That is the law. And you hold the power to decide what you repeat, which means you hold the power to decide what you believe, which means you hold the power to decide your future. So guard your repetitions. Be ruthless about what you allow yourself to say over and over. Never again affirm weakness. Never again repeat excuses. Never again program your mind with limits. Instead, flood your language with power. Repeat the truth of your strength until it drowns out every lie. Repeat the certainty of your victory until fear has no room left. Repeat the discipline of your focus until excuses suffocate. Your mind believes what you repeat. Feed it strength. Feed it courage. Feed it certainty. Speak the words of the person you are becoming until you no longer recognize the person you used to be. And when the world looks at you and asks, how did you change? How did you rise? You will know the answer. You programmed your mind. You repeated victory until victory became inevitable. Every command you give yourself becomes a habit. Every word you speak to yourself, every instruction you repeat, every order you allow to leave your mouth, it does not disappear. It sinks into your subconscious and shapes the actions you take, and those actions, repeated long enough, become habits. And your habits, whether powerful or destructive, will decide your destiny. You are not just talking when you speak to yourself. You are training. You are programming. You are engraving behaviors that will either carry you to greatness or bury you in mediocrity. Think about it. When you wake up and tell yourself, I'm too tired, that is a command. Your body listens, your energy drops, and you act like a tired person. Repeat it enough mornings, and you create the habit of laziness. When you tell yourself, I'll start tomorrow, that too is a command. Your mind accepts the delay, your actions stall, and procrastination becomes a habit. When you say, I can't do this, your mind records it, and hesitation becomes your pattern. Small words, small commands, but repeated long enough, they build chains that hold you down. But the same principle works in the opposite direction. Tell yourself, I am strong, and your body straightens. Tell yourself, I am disciplined, and your decisions sharpen. Tell yourself, I do not quit, and when resistance comes, your mind automatically fights back. Say it long enough, and those commands transform into habits. You no longer need to think. You act with discipline. You no longer debate. You persist automatically. This is the secret most people ignore. Habits are born from commands, and the commands come from your mouth. You are the commander of your own army. Your mind, your body, your actions, they are your soldiers. They wait for your orders. If you give them weak orders, they build weak habits. If you give them strong orders, they build strong habits. The question is, are you leading your army, or are you letting it wander into defeat? Every great achievement is the product of strong habits, and every strong habit was born as a command. Nobody is born disciplined. Nobody is born relentless. Nobody is born focused. These are trained behaviors carved into the subconscious through repeated orders. The runner commands, I run every day until it becomes habit. The fighter commands, I do not stop until it becomes instinct. The builder commands, I create until creation is automatic. The successful are simply those who gave themselves the right commands long enough for those commands to solidify into habits. Understand this clearly. You don't rise to the level of your motivation. You sink to the level of your habits. And your habits are nothing more than your self-commands repeated until your body obeys without question. That is why careless words are dangerous. They don't disappear, they echo. They embed themselves into your actions. They shape who you become. When you command weakness, you train weakness. When you command strength, you train strength. So for 3 days, discipline your commands. Be intentional with every word you give yourself. Replace I can't with I will. Replace I'm tired with I am fueled. Replace I'll quit with I will finish. Repeat these commands until they stop feeling like words and start functioning like reflexes. That is the moment when a habit is born. When your command has sunk deep enough that your actions follow automatically. Imagine the power of this. Imagine commanding yourself every day to be disciplined, to be relentless, to be unbreakable. Imagine doing it for weeks, for months, for years. At first it feels like effort, but then it becomes natural. Then it becomes automatic. Then it becomes who you are. The strongest people you admire are not superhuman. They are simply those who mastered their commands and turned them into habits. The tragedy is that most people never realize they are commanding themselves all the time. They think their words don't matter, but the proof is in their life. Weak commands created weak habits, and weak habits created weak results. Change the command and you change the habit. Change the habit and you change the result. The chain is unbreakable, but it works in your favor if you choose wisely. So guard your language with the fiercest discipline. Don't allow your tongue to give orders that weaken you. Don't let excuses escape your lips, because excuses repeated become habits of surrender. Don't let doubt escape your lips, because doubt repeated becomes habits of hesitation. Instead, let every word be a command of strength. Let every word be an order of courage. Let every word be a decree of victory. And when the world watches you and says, how do you stay so disciplined? How do you keep moving? How do you never break? The answer will be simple. You trained it. You commanded it. You repeated strength until strength became habit. You repeated discipline until discipline became identity. You repeated victory until victory became inevitable. Every command you give yourself becomes a habit. Every habit shapes your destiny. From this moment forward, command yourself wisely, command yourself powerfully, command yourself relentlessly, because your future is already obeying the orders you speak today. 3 days of power talk builds unshakable confidence. That is all it takes to feel a shift inside you. 3 days of disciplining your tongue, 3 days of commanding your mind, 3 days of refusing weakness and affirming strength. Confidence is not a mystery. It is not reserved for a chosen few. It is built, and it is built through words first. What you say to yourself is what you believe, and what you believe is what you live. For 3 days, if you feed your mind with nothing but certainty, nothing but courage, nothing but unstoppable declarations, you will feel a new force rising inside you. Confidence does not come from waiting until you succeed. It comes from speaking success into yourself before the victory shows up. It comes from affirming, I am strong, I am ready, I am capable, I am unbreakable. Even when circumstances are screaming the opposite. Most people wait for proof before they allow themselves to feel confident. And that is why they never rise. They say, once I achieve, then I'll believe. But the truth is the opposite. Once you believe, then you achieve. Belief fuels action, and action fuels results. Confidence is the spark, and power talk is how you ignite it. Try it. For 3 days, eliminate every weak word. Don't say I'm tired. Don't say I can't. Don't say this is too hard. Replace them instantly with fire. Say, I am filled with energy. I am unstoppable. I can handle anything. I am built for challenges. Repeat it until your mind has no choice but to accept it. Speak it with such intensity that your spirit begins to burn. Speak it with such consistency that doubt has no room left to live. By the end of 3 days, you will not feel like the same person, because your self-talk will have reprogrammed your state of mind. Do not underestimate this. Weak talk destroys confidence faster than failure ever will. A person can fail and still rise again if their words remain strong. But a person who constantly speaks doubt, fear, and limitation will never even attempt to rise because their confidence is already dead before the battle begins. Words either fuel you or drain you, and 3 days of deliberate power talk will fill your tank so completely that you will walk with an energy that others can feel. Think about how many years most people have spent repeating weakness. I'm not good enough. I'm unlucky. Things never work for me. I always fail. They have repeated those lies so long that their confidence is buried under mountains of doubt. But the good news is this. 3 days of consistent, aggressive power talk can begin to shatter that old programming. It may have taken years to build the weakness, but it only takes days to awaken strength, because strength is already inside you. It's just waiting for your words to call it out. When you speak power, your body changes. Your posture straightens, your eyes sharpen, your movements carry authority. When you speak power, your energy changes. You feel alive, focused, ready to act. When you speak power, your mind changes, possibilities open, ideas appear, determination grows. Power talk is not empty, it is fuel. And like fuel, when you add enough, it creates fire. That fire is confidence. 3 days of this discipline is enough to prove it to yourself, because after 3 days, you will feel it. You will notice the difference. You will walk differently, think differently, respond differently. And once you feel it, you will never again want it to go back to weak talk, because you will know the truth. Confidence is not something you wait for. It is something you build with your own voice. So what should you speak in those 3 days? Speak strength. Speak focus. Speak victory. Morning, declare your power. Midday, remind yourself of your purpose. Night, affirm your discipline. Every time doubt tries to rise, crush it with words of certainty. Every time fear whispers, shout over it with courage. Every time weakness tempts you, declare your unshakable will. Do this without exception, without hesitation, without compromise. 3 days. That's all it takes to feel your confidence become untouchable. Confidence built on words is confidence that cannot be stolen, because it does not depend on circumstance. It depends on discipline. It depends on the choice you make every time you open your mouth. Speak weakness and you will feel weak. Speak strength and you will feel unstoppable. 3 days of consistent, disciplined power talk will prove to you that your confidence is not outside you. It is inside, waiting to be commanded. 3 days. That is your test. Refuse negativity. Refuse excuses. Refuse limitation. Speak only power. Speak only victory. Speak only strength. By the end of it, you will no longer be wondering if you can. You will know you can. You will no longer be hoping for confidence. you will be walking in it. And once you have tasted unshakable confidence, you will never settle for weakness again. 3 days of power talk builds unshakable confidence. Begin today. Begin now. Your voice is the hammer. Your words are the blows. And your confidence is the unbreakable steel being forged. Strike for 3 days, and you will rise forged. Unshakable, unstoppable. Change your words, and your life bends to your will. That is the hidden key most people never discover. Life does not bend to wishful thinking. It does not bend to complaints. It bends to command. And the first command is in your words. Speak weakness, and life hands you chains. Speak power, and life opens doors. Speak limitation, and your path shrinks. Speak possibility, and the path expands. Every time you open your mouth, you are either bending life toward freedom or binding yourself tighter to defeat. Your words are not just sounds, they are signals. Signals to your mind, signals to your body, signals to the world around you. When you speak doubt, you signal hesitation, and hesitation becomes failure. When you speak fear, you signal surrender, and surrender becomes your identity. But when you speak courage, you signal determination. When you speak strength, you signal action. And when you repeat these signals with enough conviction, the world bends to make them true. Most people don't fail because they lack ability. They fail because they refuse to change their language. They talk about what they can't do, what they don't have, what they wish was different. They talk themselves into smallness. They build prisons with their own words, then wonder why they feel trapped. But the truth is brutal and simple. The words you live in are the life you live out. You cannot rise higher than the language you use. The great shift begins when you discipline your tongue, when you replace I can't with I will, when you replace this is impossible with there is always a way, when you replace I'm weak with I am unbreakable. Each change in language is a change in direction. Each command reprograms your mind, sharpens your focus, fuels your actions. Change your words and your decisions change. Change your decisions and your results change. Change your results and your destiny bends to your will. Do not underestimate how fast this happens. One day of weak words can drain your spirit, but one day of power words can ignite your confidence. 3 days can change your focus. 30 days can rebuild your habits. A year can transform your life completely. It begins with a single choice. Will you continue to speak defeat, or will you command victory? Understand this. Life is not neutral. It is always listening. Your mind is always recording. The energy around you is always responding. Every time you say, I'll never succeed, you push success further away. Every time you say, I'm not ready, you train yourself to hesitate. But every time you say, I am ready, you train yourself to act. Every time you say, I will succeed, you bring opportunities closer. Words are magnets. They pull into your life what you declare. This is why champions sound different. Listen to them. They do not speak fear. They do not speak excuses. They do not speak weakness. Even in defeat, they say, I'll be back. I'll rise again. This is only fuel. Their words bend reality because they refuse to speak anything less than strength. They know the law. If you cannot command your tongue, you cannot command your future. So what must you do? Begin now. Watch every word. Catch every weakness. If you speak doubt, stop and replace it instantly with certainty. If you speak fear, crush it with courage. If you speak limitation, correct it with possibility. Do this without compromise. Do this without excuse. Do this until the only words that leave your mouth are words of power. At first, it feels like effort. It feels unnatural. That's because for years you've trained yourself to speak weakness. But the moment you change your words, the training begins anew. The moment you repeat strength, the mind obeys. Repeat it long enough, and it becomes natural. Repeat it long enough, and it becomes your identity. Repeat it long enough, and life itself will bend under the force of your conviction. Change your words, and you will rise where others fall. Change your words, and you will persist where others quit. Change your words, and you will see possibilities where others see walls. Change your words, and the impossible will begin to move. Because life is not responding to your wishes, it is responding to your commands. Never forget, the strongest weapon you have is not your fist, not your wealth, not your connections. It is your voice. With it you can build or destroy, rise or collapse, conquer or surrender. The choice is always in your mouth. Speak as a victim, live as a victim. Speak as a conqueror, live as a conqueror. Change your words and everything else must obey. Change your words and your life bends to your will. Speak like the person you're becoming, not like the person you used to be. Speak strength until you live strength. Speak victory until you embody victory. Speak greatness until greatness has no choice but to manifest in your life. The moment you change your words, your destiny shifts. And the moment your destiny shifts, the world will look at you and realize nothing can stop the one who commands life with unshakable words. And now you understand the truth. Self-talk is not small. It is not empty. It is not harmless. It is the steering wheel of your life. You are either programming your mind or letting the world program it. 3 days of disciplined words can rewire your future. You must affirm strength, not weakness. You must speak possibility, not limitation. Your mind believes what you repeat. Every command you give yourself becomes a habit. 3 days of power talk builds unshakable confidence. And when you change your words, your life bends to your will. So from this moment, there is no more careless talk, no more weak declarations, no more excuses leaving your lips. Speak only power, speak only victory, speak only the language of a conqueror, because your life will always rise or fall to match your words. Choose power, and nothing will stop you. Speak like the champion you were born to be, and the world will have no choice but to recognize you as one.